Yo, what is up, guys? It is Hack. We're back with another trade recap, March 25th. Really good trading day. Felt really confident about how the market moved. Have been continuing to feel confident about how the market moves, even through tough conditions. So, without further ado, let's move into it. As we always do, we are going to start with the plan. I'm going to show you guys the higher time frame, the lower time frame, what my plan was for the day, my notes, before the market even opened, and then we are going to go into, the thoughts that developed into the market, the first few minutes, of course, and then we're going to go into our trades. So, let's get into it. Let's start off. Just kind of skim my plan here into today's session. I was bearish. The higher time frame, 4 hour, continued to hold below this 4 hour gap. When I say that, I am talking about right here. Look at all these candles for about a day day and a half worth of, actually about 2 days worth of 4 hour candles. Even though this gap is not that big, price continues to reject and not be able to close bodies with that much confidence. Now, I do think this is going to get breached, if I'm being completely honest, into the rest of the week, Thursday, Friday. I do think we are going to try to move higher and target this liquidity, probably clear this area, take out the 680s, probably trend towards the 700s. That honestly is my realistic expectation. You can clearly see that we are putting in higher lows, and we are in an uptrend. So we're starting to develop that. I say higher lows, lower highs. You understand what I'm saying. But higher lows. I'm tweaking. My bad. But yeah. Anyway, you can see our plan. That was kind of our plan. And I kind of just talk about it here. Although structure can be shifting bullish, like I said, we do have room to pull back based on our higher time frame trend to about the 24,300 area, which not coincidentally matches up with both Asia and London low. Those are my targets for the day. You will see that those are represented right in this area, right here. These are Asia and London lows. You'll see when I zoom in more. This is just the 4 hours still. But yeah, kind of just talk about us flagging internally. Want to see us break to the downside. Now, that actually didn't happen as quick as I wanted, but you'll see. And then after London, we saw accumulation, as you can see. Can't really see here, but we saw accumulation. We took out London high, and then we distributed. So we got our manipulation, and we distributed. And then we started to flag pre-market. Now, look at this, guys. This is what I want you guys to pick up on. Read that for me. Hot selling area to watch, 24,500, 24,580. I come up with these areas not only based on how price is moving, not only based on that 4 hour gap, but on flow, time and sales, etc. Just kind of watching data and understanding how to watch a market profile. And let me show you guys something. So market open, right, first few minutes. Take a look. Take a look. What did we do the first few minutes? 936, 937, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42. Look where we are. We entered that selling area. Price immediately stalled out. We even formed gaps on the lower time frames to continue to try to make this move. Price stalled out. When you know, you know. And again, timestamp 9:14. 9:14. This happened at 9:39. Just to make it clear. Anyway, so that goes down, right? That's all great. Now, the only issue I kind of had and why we missed this setup, number one, so we did take a small loss in here. It was about $100. It was actually down here. So we missed the setup, then we took a small loss, and we took a nice win. So this was a 4.4 hour setup that I wanted. Such a beautiful setup. Really such a beautiful setup. Now looking back on it, we had the 1 minute gap above. We didn't tap back into that. We had this 1 minute inverse. This was our final confluence. Now I was on the 2 minute. I did not recognize this on the 1 minute. We did tap in. We definitely could have gotten an entry. So what I was more focused on here, I will show you guys on the 2 minute. Now, we were not respecting the VWAP all morning. You guys know I trade VWAP. Obviously bounces off the VWAP and then rejections trade up to the VWAP and then come back lower. Now here you can see that the VWAP is not being respected all morning. When it's like this, I usually don't, give it too much credit during the session, but of course it's still one of my main confluences, so I do pay attention to it. Now I was a little hesitant. I wanted to see just some structure shift below the VWAP, and when I went short. And there was actually, you'll see that the setup we took, was the setup that we wanted, but this setup evidently was a really, really good piece, nonetheless. Now we formed this 2 minute gap just to kind of, long story short, we formed this 2 minute gap. I wanted to see manipulation into it. We did not get our manipulation. My limit was for right here. You can see price got as high as like the 54s. I wanted about the 66s, 67s, which we are returning back to right now. Didn't get that. So we dumped. We took out this target. Obviously, it was our target. And yeah, so that was the trade that we missed out on. Completely fine. Now we drop down to the lower time frame. We did take an L in here, trying to trade price lower. So that setup, I don't know why it's not on here, but that setup was right here. We took this setup. We were risking to these highs, and we were targeting this low. It was about 1.5, whatever. That's fine. Very, very low risk. I think we lost $120 on futures on that trade. Completely fine with that. And then this was the setup that we made money. We took this on options and futures. Beautiful setup, $200 on options, a few $100, closer to 1,000, I believe, on futures, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, super clean. And when I tell you guys clean, like clean. 15-second, 30-second model, 15 gap. After failing to take new low, W formed a 15-second gap. EMA is pushed down after manipulating these very internal highs and still respecting 15-second gap, 30-second gap, 1-minute gap, rejecting on the EMAs on the 1 minute, of course, as well. And also this trade was very time and sale order flow based. I saw huge pools of liquidity down to the 24,330s. I told my Discord 24,330s was the target, and this was honestly unbelievable, guys. We literally bottom ticked low of day. And you guys probably already saw that in the title, but we bottom ticked, like, I don't know how else to tell you guys. I mean, there was literally 2 more points to get taken from this trade. This is actually right to the 30s is where we TP'd. So we caught 47.5 points, 2.1 RR, a lower time frame setup. Again, not crazy risk, but we still made 200 on options and some good gains on futures. So this was a beautiful setup. So we missed our bigger one for the day. We took a very small loss, and then we took a really nice win. So we took about, we missed about a 55-point win. We took about a 20, what was that, like 27, 28-point loss, and then we didn't take any of those on options, and then we took a 50-point, basically a 50-point trade on options, made good money, and then made good money on futures. So really, really happy with our executions, right? We got this model to break towards those lows. We dumped right towards them. Watch the flow, watch the buying get overpowered, watch the selling really mount here, form multiple gaps for us to enter out of with the EMA is pushing down. And that's all. I was very confident in the fact that that was all I wanted to take. And look at this. What the market's been loving to do recently is go towards these draws and liquidity and not take them. Look at this. Price has been loving going towards draws and liquidity and not taking them. So I saw that big area in the 330s, and that gave me even more conviction to not take profit at our draws on liquidity. And you guys know probably from my trade recaps, and especially my students know, I never take profit on draws and liquidities, really. I would say maybe 7 out of 10 times I take profit anywhere from 15 to 20 points before the draw on liquidity. Now this was actually way closer because I got that 330 area confirmation, but I mean, this is a beautiful bottom tick. We now have had about a 120-point reversal. Since that, I mean, there's really no other way to tell you that we really do this, right? Like it's right here. Like you guys can see it. You guys saw it with the hot selling area to watch. Let me just kind of scroll through the Discord here. Show you the trade that we missed. No retrace for this entry. Had the 5 micro limit sell ready. You can see that dumped. That was actually about 70 points. I don't know what went on Top Step where that number said like 58. It was a little more than that. And then, yeah, banger, bottom tick. This was when the move was starting to make its way back up. Yeah, really, really clean day, guys. Really, really happy with how we executed. Hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap. Pretty efficient recap, about 8 minutes here. But yeah, that's how we handled our day, and that is how we bottom ticked to low of day. Hope you guys enjoyed. God bless. Hope you guys had an amazing day. Hope you have an amazing rest of the week. You guys will see me more on YouTube, I promise. I love making those long form videos and, of course, get my recaps out. So yeah, God bless, guys. Peace.